Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. So, first of all, thank you so much for a very good response that you guys have shown on the linear framework, especially for a live project demo that I'm showcasing on my channel. So, I know it's been delayed for some reason because I was quite occupied last week. So, I really couldn't make a progress on that part. But yes, I have got good comments and responses asking for the performer video. So I think it's already 12:30, but I wanted to do this video as it's getting delayed. So today I'm doing it very late night. So if you really like the content, then definitely give a thumbs up and also do comment and share across your friends. So that gives me a lot of motivation. So yes, yeah, in today's video, I am going to showcase you one very, very interesting concept. So let me first of all, what I do is, so basically in this, I'm not going to show you whatever that we do in the UiPath studio. So basically that I'm going to showcase here is solutioning. So this is a major portion usually many of us ignore, especially at the beginning of the career at least. So see, guys, like I wanted to talk about some really useful and important topics because solutioning is not something that you think it will be taken care by solution architect. You should never think in that way. Solutioning will be best understood and should be firstly done by the developer itself. That's what I believe in. Because, if you know how you're going to frame your solution, you can bring the best solutions. Maybe your first might not be the best, but definitely you will become better and you will reach the best version of your solutions. So today I'm going to tell you the step by step procedure of how you actually do a solutioning, how you design your solutions, and how you will actually, you know, prepare or have a uh, kind of architecture. So I will show you everything, the blueprint, how you can get across, but before to that, like in last video we have seen the dispatcher, right? So let me quickly go to the dispatcher. So this is my dispatcher. In my dispatcher, what exactly I had was I was downloading the file, and also I am adding the items into the queue. So it is a linear process. So I just kept it in the linear framework, right? But now the next steps. So once after I have added all these items into the queue, I will be processing each and every item at a time, right? And for each item, what I will do, so let us consider this is my input sheet, and these are the items that I have it in my queue, right? So if you haven't watched the previous videos, then definitely go and watch, because if you're directly jumping into the performer, you will not understand, right? So please watch them. I have clearly explained each and every step along with exception handling. So do watch them and come to this video so you can easily understand. So in this, my queue contains the account number, right? So in this account number, I will be fetching last four digits, I believe. Let me check in the. So let's understand the requirement clearly once again, okay? So here I will fetch the last four digits. So for in this, if you see, I will be fetching last four digits. So let's write it in a notepad. So fetch last four digits from queue item. Okay, here my concentration will be queue item, and also I will tell you why we are going for queue and why not for a normal framework, why not a linear framework. I'll also explain about that, why we should prefer queue also. I'll explain you. Okay, so first I will take this last four digits, and then in the website, let's say if the last four digits is 7325. So where is the 7325? Here it is, right? So I will be clicking on it and it will generate me the zip file, correct? I'll click on this. It will download me the zip file. So what should I do? Click and download the zip file, right? So now after doing that, what we usually do, we unzip it, and that will become a text file like this, right? That will be a text file like this. So unzip and extract the text file, right? And after getting the text file, we would read the data. We would read this whole data and we would extract these details like account number, bank, branch, loan taken, and all of that, right? So fetch the required details using string manipulations or regex, whatever is comfortable for you, you can do that. Okay, so we will be fetching all these details one by one. And also we need few more details. What are those? We need PAN number and the status. So where can we get this information from? Status is active, PAN number is this, right? So we should be getting it from here itself. So we can do it while we download, right? While we actually click on it, we can extract at that point itself, right? So here, extract status and PAN number, right? And after you do this, what is the last step? That you have to update all this information into this particular cells, correct? Now, update information into Excel, right? Perfect. So these are the things that we have to do. So now you have to understand, right? So in RE framework, so I am using the performer. So in the performer, I will be using RE framework. So in RE framework, what are the things that I should keep in the process? Okay. So if I open RE framework, first, if you're not familiar with RE framework, that's fine. But I would recommend, there are videos already on my channel regarding RE framework. Everything in detail I have explained. So if you want, you can quickly check out that as well. Let me show you, guide you where you can find the videos. So just go to the playlist on my channel. So the very beginning, you can find RE framework videos. Okay, there are a lot of videos already up on my channel. I have clearly explained about each and every portion, like each and every module, what they actually do and all. So you can just check out that as well. Otherwise, maybe for this use case, we may not use that much, but maybe as we go through that, you can understand it clearly. Okay, so yes, in RE framework, if you see here, so let's first create a process in RE framework. So I'll put it as loan processing and loan processing performer, right? Loan processing performer process. So in this process, if you see, we if you I believe you at least have a basic knowledge of RE framework, in which we have different state machines, which is init state, then get transaction state, and then we have process and end process. Okay, so now we have to decide where we actually keep all of these steps. So let's assume this is the steps. Okay, so this is let's consider these are the modules. So now when I am doing this first module, like all these steps, right? So all these steps are the repetitive steps for each and every transaction. I will fetch the last four digits, I'll click and download, I'll unzip them, I'll fetch the details by using regex or manipulation. I'll extract the status in the PAN number and I'll update the information into the Excel, right? So these all steps are the common steps. And let's assume the this update information, right? So I'll talk about update information, but all these steps, I wanted to keep them under process. Okay, I wanted to keep them under process. This goes under process. But update information into Excel is something that I wanted to write it in a different way. So how I will write it will actually decide the way that you handle the process, because this is the end information that the user will have once after you finish the execution, correct? So this should give all the details. And I would recommend you to add one more uh, field, one more column over here, stating what status. Okay, so the reason for using RE framework, now I will explain. If you're using any other normal process, there are very high chances that you end up into exceptions usually for this process, because you are using UI automation first thing, and you're going and downloading the zip files, and you're extracting the details, and you're doing the string manipulations. If there are any validation missing or something like that, you end up into errors. So if you don't use RE framework, there are high chances that you not only have to include additional exception handling, but also you may miss some data, right? If you're directly using a process where you loop through this all data and update it one by one, then if there is something going wrong, then you miss out all the data that you have processed till the time. But in case of RE framework, even if something is going wrong, you can just start the process again, which will pick it from where it has left. So that's the one main advantage of using RE framework. Okay. And the second thing is, you will have a better exception handling. I will show you. You can understand what I actually mean by that when we are doing it, right? So I will not keep this exact, I will keep in process, but not like how I have kept it. Okay. I'll keep it in a different way so that it will be used effectively. Okay. Update information into Excel. So when I am doing that, I will also include bot status. Okay. So now for all the new beginners or someone who just started their, you know, journey into UiPath, then definitely I would highly recommend this particular website for you, which is draw.io. Okay, which is draw.io. So what we can actually do over here is we can simply create a blueprint. Okay. So let's say if there is, I mean, like you can just easily understand what all the steps that you can do, where exactly you have to do all these steps. It is very quite, self-explanatory. So what you can do, you can just on high level, let's do this. Okay. Let's consider this is my process. Okay. So I will fetch the last four digits and I'll create something like this. Okay. So it's quite simple. You can easily create it. Okay. Click and download. So what happens if you do like this is it's very easy to create the workflows. Don't consider this as time waste, because when you can visualize what you are going to do, it's easy to include the validations also. I'm creating it in a positive flow, but you also should include the negative flows. But for just for the beginning purpose, this is quite good enough. Okay, just do this and extract the status and the PAN number. Mm. Okay. So this whole thing will fall under the process. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll keep this whole thing. Let me take a dotted line. It's been so long that I used this. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, no problem. So this whole thing, I'll keep it under the process. And what about this particular module, update Excel, update information into Excel? This particular value, I will keep it inside my exception handling. Okay, so how I will do that, I will show you. Okay, when we are doing it, I will show you. So this is a rough solutioning, rough blueprint that we have. So based on this, we create one by one module. Okay, so we will have the module creation one by one. So now I will also talk about one more thing, which is utilization of RE framework. So now you can see here. So when I create this modules, right? So when you keep that in the blueprint, you can also create them here, right? So you can create a sequence like fetch last four digits. So I usually see a lot of people creating modules without proper names or annotations or proper logs. So it will not be useful going forward for anyone to understand. Like if you give the project to someone else, they should be able to understand. So you have to ensure that you always follow the standards. So if you see for the previous process also, I ensure that I follow the standards every single way. I mean, like not completely, but yes, to the extent that it is possible, right? So basic ones. Don't give random names, that I would suggest you. Try to give more meaningful names. So you can give those things only if you understand what you're going to do in the process completely, right? So if you see, we have already designed like what we are going to do. So now we also have to include some validations. Okay, so now what I exactly mean by validation is, so let us consider you did click and download the zip file, right? So when you're doing this, what usually happens when you click, let's assume a scenario where it's not downloaded, right? So what you have to do, you should retry that, right? So for that, what I will do, I'll use a rhombus and I'll keep a retry, right? So now I'll just replace this and keep this one over here. So now there comes two conditions. One is, if it is successfully downloaded, then unzip it. But let's assume in a case where it's not a successful scenario. Okay. In such cases, what we can do, we have to retry, right? So let me keep this condition back to this. So I will do one thing. Okay. Let us assume in a case where it's not successfully downloaded. So what I will do, I will retry this. Mm, Okay, okay, so should be like this, right? So if there is a case where it's not successfully, okay, good. So now what I will do here, if it's a failure, not downloaded, so I would retry. Okay, so till the counter becomes 3 times, right? So this is clear. And if it is a successfully downloaded. So in that case, what I will do, I will directly go and unzip the file and extract the details. So these are the details that you should consider. I mean, like this is a one such example where you can actually include some validations. We have to include validations whenever we are working with automations, right? Because that's the most important thing at each and every step, to ensure that whatever the steps that the bot is doing are correct, right? So validation is a very important thing. It's not that you build the workflow only in the positive scenarios, considering the positive flow, but also you have to foresee the negative scenarios. What are the exceptional cases? What has to do in such case of exceptions, and how it has to handle. Like, like you cannot identify 100% of exception scenarios. That's why we have try catch exception handling. In case of unknown errors, we have the try catch, where we can find out and we can catch the errors which are unexpected. But these kind of errors can be expected. These kind of errors can be retried. Sometimes we can, work on them. So such kind of errors we have to foresee. We have to foresee and we have to work on them, right? So this is one such kind of thing. So fine. So something like this, when you're building and when you're seeing what's happening in the process, you have to have a blueprint created which will help you to identify the negative scenarios and negative flows, and you have to create the validations for them. Okay, so this is one thing. So like that, if you see any other case, like let's say Hmm. You're trying to take the four digits and you didn't find the four digits appearing on the this particular website. So let's say you have taken something like 7542. There is no 7542, right? 7542. There is no 7542. So in such cases, you can throw business exceptions, but there is no business exception scenario that's defined for this workflow. So that's fine. But in case if it is not there, we can handle it using exception handling, right? So that is how you have to foresee the things, and you have to understand the negative scenarios and negative workflows as well. So that's one thing. Apart from that, so similar to that, you can create some solutioning like this. So this is a basic example that I've shown you. Something like this, you have to create a blueprint before you start working on the process. So this applies for dispatcher also, but dispatcher is very small process, so I couldn't able to show much on that. This is also small process, but it's good to start with small things, right? So yes, now I believe you understood how you actually start up solutioning, how you foresee the validations, and how you actually put up the XAMLs, right? So you have to give meaningful words and you have to start it that way. So now going forward, what I will show is, meanwhile, you can also give it a try. So what we are going to do is I will fetch each and every queue item. Okay, I'll fetch each and every queue item, and so if you see here, my project, let's go to main. Okay. So in the main, we already have the get transaction data, right? So I'll just change the queue name, and I will fetch each and every queue item, and I'll go into the process. Here in the process, first thing is, from the queue item, I will fetch the last four digits. So if you're new to UiPath, if you're excited to give a try, then definitely this is something I'm throwing a challenge to you. So give a try, split or I mean substring or whatever the string data manipulations that you want to use in order to fetch the last four digits. You do that. There are a lot of videos up on my channel already. You can go and check it out also on the string manipulations. Try it out before I release the video. And also let me know that did you enjoy this concept of how you can actually do the solutioning, because this is something I thought I you definitely have to know, because it will help you in the long run, because this is the way I foresee things, and this really made a difference on the way that I create solutions. Before it was very clumsy because I was not able to foresee, but now after I came up with the approach, it was very easy for me. I could able to understand process before I actually start the development. So this has given me a clear picture, so I thought I'll share this with you as well, so you can start it from the very beginning of your development. Thank you so much for watching. And if you really like the video, do give a like and also share across your friends. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. That really gives me a lot of motivation. Give the comment also that if you really learn something, just write what you learned and what really you liked in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.